Greatness is something everyone can appreciate. Names like Michael Jordan and Tom Brady are household names. In combat sports, John Jones, Alexander Karelin, and there are many more. In college wrestling, there's nobody ahead of Cael Sanderson. In his time at Iowa State from 1999 to 2002, Sanderson managed to achieve perfection by going 159-0 with 4 national championships. Today I want to take a look at his third title at Iowa State when he beat future UFC champion Daniel Cormier. We all know DC as the UFC light heavyweight and heavyweight champion. He's been in incredible fights with some of the best, including Stipe Miocic, the aforementioned Jones, Alexander Gustafsson, and more. He's nearly dominated everyone he's fought. In college, Cormier wrestled for Oklahoma State. We know DC for his double championship status, but in the world of wrestling, he notched an impressive 53-10 record. On the freestyle team, Cormier won a bronze medal at the 2007 World Championships. But Cormier was 0-5 against Sanderson, and going into the 6th and final meeting, Sanderson would prove a point. We come in at the midway point through the first period and scoreless. As DC circles, Sanderson fires inside with his left hand and gets behind the knee. Cormier tries to sprawl, but Sanderson managed to get his right hand around the knee. Cormier fights it, but Sanderson trucks through and finishes the takedown for 2. This is where Sanderson drowns his opponents. After scoring 2, Sanderson stays on Cormier, suffocating his foe, draining the gas tank, and looking for additional points. Here, he's hunting points and DC Granby rolls out of bounds. Notice how Sanderson stays engaged and flows over and through the Granby. Later in the period, we see an example of what Cael Sanderson is best at, the low single. Here, he shoots on Cormier and DC successfully sprawls. But there are layers to combat sports, and Sanderson shows just this. In the first attempt, Cormier uses a wizard to keep Sanderson at bay. On the second shot, you can see Sanderson with control of Cormier's arm until he's ready for the shot. He lets the hand go and snags the ankle of Cormier, pulling out the base and getting another takedown for 2 points. In the second, Sanderson has gotten an escape point from starting on the bottom. We see Cormier hunting a takedown for himself, but the tenacity of Sanderson keeps Cormier at bay. DC gets in on the single. Notice as Sanderson is defending, he reaches across with his hand that is posted to look for the ankle of Cormier. Pursuing the takedown, Cormier overcommits and Sanderson manages to sprawl and stuff down the head of DC. Daniel Cormier bails in the attempt and Sanderson shoots as he's heading out of bounds. This is another great example of what Sanderson does well. He is always looking to score even when he's deep in defense of a takedown. He's always on the hunt. One mistake and he will take advantage of it, which he's always looking to do. Near the end of the third, Cormier has been awarded an escape point for himself. Cormier does a good job here as he snaps Sanderson's head down and looks to go behind Sanderson for a takedown. Sanderson has his arm out looking to slow down Cormier enough to do something, but Cormier puts in the second effort, gets the go behind, and scores 2. While Sanderson has a point of ride time racked up, this takedown puts Cormier in the ballpark with an upset or at least an opportunity to tie it up. He's now down 5-4. But Cormier then just drops the ball. Sanderson reaches underneath to fight the hands and momentarily gets Cormier's hands free. Instead of locking his hands back, Cormier just lets go and sits back on his rear, a huge no-no. Always looking for a shot, Sanderson turns to Cormier, wraps up his right leg, snags his left ankle, drives through Cormier and out of bounds. He'll get top position on the reset as well, which will do him justice to run out the clock. Cormier has blown his shot and allowed Sanderson to put this match nearly out of reach for the Oklahoma State alumni. Daniel Cormier would need a Hail Mary. In the end, Cormier would not get it, but he would try and try hard. But Cael Sanderson would hold off Cormier and win his third national championship. But these two athletes' career, while they would diverge, would still go amazingly for both. The win over Daniel Cormier, and especially this one in the 2001 National Championship, would age especially well for Cael Sanderson. Cormier would go on to win 2 titles in the UFC. Sanderson, however, would become an icon in the wrestling community and go on to win another NCAA title, which would be his 4th, a silver medal at the 2003 World Championships, perhaps underachieving for Sanderson, and a gold medal in the 2004 Athens Olympic Games. After his competition years, Sanderson would go on to coach the Penn State Lions and help them become one of the most prolific wrestling programs the NCAA has ever seen.